At around 2 a.m. local time on the 23rd of March 2026, Israel launched one of the largest strikes in its history against Iran. More than 50 Israeli fighter jets participated in the operation. According to the latest military briefing, Israel deployed a mixed formation, including F-35S, F-15I, and F-16I. The Israeli military targeted infrastructure in Tehran, as well as secret underground nuclear weapons development sites, after President Trump issued a final ultimatum demanding that Iran unconditionally reopen the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. Israeli forces began targeting Iran's power plants. Missile launchers and air defense systems in cities such as Isfahan, Qom, and Kermanshah were subjected to continuous bombardment. As of the 23rd of March, Iran's Ministry of Health reported that the conflict had resulted in over 15,000 injuries. With the death toll rising rapidly, the electronic building of Iran's Ministry of Defense collapsed after being struck by 3 missiles. Defense industrial zones in Tehran and Shiraz have indeed suffered devastating damage. Multiple residents in Tehran have posted videos of explosions at the scene. These facilities are core production sites for Iran's drone sensors and missile guidance systems. Iran's Fars news agency confirmed that Khorramabad experienced intense air defense engagements and explosions, after which the city fell into a complete blackout. In recent years, Iran has deployed advanced long-range air defense systems in Khorramabad, many of which are upgraded or domestically produced versions of the S-300. The Israel Defense Forces have confirmed the elimination of several advanced air defense positions in the area. Social media videos show secondary explosions at a city substation, and the entire city is now in darkness, with residents relying on flashlights to search through the rubble. The blackout has not only affected household electricity, but also disrupted the local water supply system. Additionally, multiple administrative and energy management centers in Tehran were attacked, triggering widespread power outages. Iran's Revolutionary Guard warned that if its electricity infrastructure is targeted, it will retaliate in kind. Shortly thereafter, early this morning, Saudi Arabia announced that it intercepted a ballistic missile launched from Iran toward its capital, Riyadh. U.S. Central Command warned Iranian civilians to remain indoors temporarily. In an interview, CENTCOM Commander General Brad Cooper explicitly stated that since the Iranian military is launching missiles and drones from densely populated civilian areas, civilians should stay indoors to avoid accidental harm. And in anticipation of imminent precision strikes, the U.S. State Department issued a global security advisory urging American citizens worldwide to remain vigilant against possible retaliatory attacks by Iran-backed groups targeting U.S. diplomatic missions, hotels, or U.S. affiliated facilities. Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf released an official statement emphasizing that Iran's retaliation will no longer be limited to geographically defined military targets, but will extend to the financial arteries that sustain the war machine. He used strong moral language, describing them as stained with blood, and directly included global financial markets, especially holders of U.S. Treasury bonds, within Iran's deterrent scope. Ghalibaf stated clearly that not only government agencies providing direct funding, but also any banks or investment institutions involved in purchasing U.S. debt, financing the war, or processing transactions for the U.S. military would be considered participants in the conflict. This implies that financial centers in Dubai, Bahrain, Riyadh, and even London and New York could face threats of Iranian cyber attacks or long-range missile strikes if they are involved in supporting US military funding for the current operation. In response, newly appointed US Treasury Secretary Besson said in an NBC interview on the 23rd that the United States has sufficient funding to support the war and will not alter its US Treasury issuance plans due to Iranian threats. He emphasized that US Treasuries are the cornerstone of global security, and any attack on financial infrastructure would be regarded as a direct act of aggression against the United States itself.